Hello everyone, I'm Bro Mithra. It's Black Friday. I did a large live stream and everything. This is just going to be a recap, a very quick recap to do the normal, the Dark Herald videos I normally do. This is going to be a Dark Herald, just Black Friday, right? It's going to cover all kinds of stuff. Most importantly, I made a live stream. We had all kinds of guests. There was all kinds of stuff I did for this. I went over the entirety. It's a very long update. I went over it entirely, talked about a whole bunch of stuff with people, talked about lore stuff, talked about all kinds of different things. So this is going to be a quicker Black Friday update itself overview. I'm just going to talk about some things that I noticed now that I've gone back and looked at it when I wasn't live streaming. So I was able to nitpick more. It's going to be nitpicking more than numbers and noticing things more so than just broad observations. So I'd recommend watching the live stream if you want to see all those things. Most importantly, this is going to be a quick video to get it out for what's on sale during Black Friday. So let's talk about that most importantly. You can see here, Black Friday, this is the main website for Kingdom Death. You just go to shop.kingdomdeath, you go to the news. Go to Kingdom Death website, go to news, I'll go to it here. So news, you want this one, the Black Friday thing, that will bring it up. The newsletter, then there's a link to the Kickstarter update, but this is it. The Pledge Manager reopens. This is what I want to talk about first and foremost. This is the most important thing. So we're going to click on this Pledge Manager reopening. Here is the Kingdom Death Pledge Manager. This is what you will see. So, Gambler's Chest. Everyone knows my opinions on Gambler's Chest. Everybody knows my opinions on Campaigns of Death. Here's where you can buy them. They're both pre-orders. We'll talk more about Gambler's Chest. It is in printing now, so it's a very... If you pre-order it, it shouldn't be very long. It's not like pre-ordering it years back where you're still waiting. Should be getting it soon. Quarter 2, quarter 3. Campaigns of Death, we'll talk about that. So the Black Friday 2022 new expansion bundle is all the Wave 4 stuff. We're going to talk about that as well. Black Friday 2022 Blackest Bundle. That is, I think that's the one with Gambler's Chest included. I'm going to click on it. This includes Campaigns of Death is included in this one. Content for Campaigns of Death, plus the new Wave 4 expansions. So that one does not include... Gambler's Chest is not included in there. So, Vignette of Death, White Giggle Lion. I'm going to click on this. This is the 1.6, I'm assuming. It doesn't say it's 1.6, but there was some changes. We're going to talk about this. Giggle Lion has seen some changes since 1.6. So here are the 1.6 reprints. This is the most important of this whole video. Here you can order each one that you want for any of these 1.6 reprints. There are changes in 1.6 expansions that are not included in the Living Card Pack, that are not included in the regular old expansions. These are legitimately updated with the exception of Green Knight. I don't think anything's changed there. I've looked over it. I don't think anything's changed. All these expansions have seen changes, including Giggle Lion. They've all experienced something. Let's talk about what these changes are. And if you don't, I'm not recommending buying 1.6 expansions. Buy Campaigns of Death. If you own these already, you don't need to buy these to see the changes. Actually, they're very easily implemented changes as well. So let's go ahead and look at them. Alright, so here is the changelog. This can be found on the Lantern's Reign Discord. This was put together and posted in the spoiler new gameplay stuff. These are all the changes that are for the 1.6 expansion reprints. There's stuff that are not found in the Kingdom Death Monsters Legendary Card Pack either. Even though Legendary Card Pack updated some stuff, it did not update everything. Stuff is now changed in 1.6 reprints. These are not really that, impossible to implement with... You don't need to buy new ones to get these implemented, and I don't think it's really that big of a deal. The changes are just stuff that people were doing anyway because they just make sense, these changes. They're just brought in line to be more with 1.5. They're definitely going to be within Campaigns of Death with the exception of one. We will talk about it. So, here we go. Dragon King. Again, a lot of these are just going to be the same. I'm just going to go over the Dragon King quickly, or more slowly, and the other ones I'll go over quick because most of them are all going to be repeated stuff. So, if you look at this, Dragon King level 3 gains the Indomitable trait. reflected on the showdown page and the data card. This is actually something that's going to happen to every single one of the expansions. They're all going to get the level. They're all going to get all the level 3s or greater. Manhunter is a level 4. They're all going to gain Indomitable with the exception of Spidicules, because Spidicules can't be knocked down anyway. So he does not gain the Indomitable trait, or she does not gain the Indomitable trait. So this is just a change for everything. Same thing here with this level 2. Level 2 Dragon King grants 1 or 2 hunt experience. This is going to be a change for every single one. They're not all going to be 1 or 2. Some of them are just a flat 2. Some of them are a 1 or a 2. This is in line with 1.5 Lion and Lope and the Phoenix. So, again, that's going to happen to all of them. That's why I'll go over quickly the other ones. Level 3 Dragon Knight drops a Black Lycan. Again, this is much in line with most of the 1.5 things, except for Lion. 1.5 Lion drops Elder Cat Teeth. But this is just stuff that you can just keep in the back of your mind. Here's one that is a little bit more difficult to keep in the back of your mind all the time. The level 3 Tyrant gains Indomitable. That's easy to know. But the level 3, or now the Tyrant, the level 1 plus, all Tyrants will grant 1 weapon proficiency or monster level weapon proficiency in bow for Tyrant. That is a huge change. So that is something to more so keep in mind. It's in line with the other Nemesis. So not all Nemesis will gain that, but Tyrant does. So now let's just quickly go over the other ones. Again, Dung Beetle Knight's going to go ahead and gain Indomitable. Going to go ahead and drop Black Lycan. He's going to do the 1 or 2 experience in the Aftermath. There's problems with the 1.6 Dung Beetle Knight, which might be getting fixed if you pre-order them again, but it's the same problem that was already existent in the Legendary card pack. It's just the resin, Resin Ball Shot card, yes. Resin Ball Shot card with Separation Anxiety Clause. This was fixed for everybody in the card pack. Somehow didn't make it to the reprints. Flower Knight, level 3, Indomitable. Level 2, Flower Knight grants 2 hunt experience. This is in line with Lope. Level 3, Flower Knight drops Black Lycan. Gorm, again, Indomitable, Black Lycan, 2 hunt experience. Lion God, Indomitable, Black Lycan, 1 or 2 hunt experience. Lion Knight here is level 3 Lion Knight, Indomitable. The level 1 Lion Knight grants weapon proficiency Qatar, so same as the other Nemesis. We have Manhunter here, 3 and 4 Indomitable. Slenderman, level 3 Slenderman gains Indomitable trait. Spidicules, no Indomitable because it can't be knocked down anyway. Level 2 grants 2 hunt experience, drops Black Lycan. Sunstalker gains Indomitable. 1 or 2 in the Aftermath, Black Lycan. And then here's the Vignette of Death, the Gigalion. The dense bow and arrows now have the cumbersome gear special rule. That's a pretty big change because I know when I reviewed the Gigalion, I was saying these arrows are pretty much the best thing out of this expansion. This is quite a big nerf to them. And also, Gigalion's not supposed to be something that's included in Campaigns of Death. So I don't know how players will go ahead and get a hold of this new gear card. And then there's a wording on the Vicious Special AI has been clarified. It's not a change, it's just clarification here. This is how most people are playing. It was very confusing, but most people play it this way because it's how it is. It's just clarified. Target all adjacent survivors, full movement monster, even if there are no targets, away from all threats. It's just that stuff that's in the parentheses that was added to the card. So, with that, those are all the changes for 1.6. That's what you can expect if you do order 1.6 expansions. They are different from what we have now. All these changes should be in Campaigns of Death. So, and they're not that hard to just remember and implement. But you can always come check out this amazing list here made by Aluminum Man. It's in Lantern's Reign Discord. So, let's go on back to the update then. 100th update for Black Friday. Again, I've done a whole live stream. I'm just going to scroll down and look at some stuff that I've noticed that is very, like, a lot of my takeaways now that I've gone back and read it. So, and I'll touch on other, again, things I talked about in the live stream. But I've already read this whole thing in the live stream, already done all of that. I'm just going to quickly do it. So here we go. We've already talked about this. Gambler's Chest is printing. That's the main takeaway from this. So you can see right here, Gambler's Chest printing. That's sealed the deal, right? Just saying Gambler's Chest is printing and an estimated delivery of Q2, early Q3. That's it. Made this update amazing. That's really all you needed to hear from this update was that it's printing. Or even, I was expecting that it was finished. Just pencils are down and now we're finally done and we're sending it off to printing. We'll get proofs and stuff. No, this is just, it's printing. So even better. So the Gambler's Chest overview can be found here. You can click there and it will go take you to a 2-year-old thing. But we will talk about that. So then we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. Here's all kinds of token stuff. Talk about this all over the live stream. Just neat stuff. So here's one of the takeaways I just wanted to touch on. Here you can see Champion Weaponsmith on this page here, and it's called Designs and Dandelions. Pretty neat. I don't know if that's a D&D reference, but it is D&D. Then Logistics of Death. This is interesting because it seems that the Logistics of Death, I think, were kind of like the observations. Or I don't know if this is like an event that leads into how you get the report itself. They're not called reports anymore. But we can't read it here, but you can see that it looks like it were pictographs, or the Memento Mori. Can't really tell. It looks like it's Memento Mori. So maybe if something happens, if people die, maybe long distance of death is what happens if only the scout remains and is trying to get gear back safely all by themselves. Maybe that's why Memento Mori is here. Could be that there's two different events here. Maybe that it's one is for whether or not you get the report, the observation at the end of the fight, or one is if you lose on the hunt. One's if you lose during the showdown. One's if you have gear. One if you have dead bodies. So look, this is an interesting page. It's interesting to see that it has it's an actual event here. The other thing here is the scouts have their own hunts. There's 10 of them here. I know we talked about this on the live stream, but again, these are just things I wanted to highlight, go back for. I've even got my New York skateboarding raccoon shirt. I'm all good. I'm all in on all Kingdom Death. Awesome talking about stuff. So we're just going to gush over things again, even though I had a whole live stream doing it. There's about 10 of these here. These are cool because the hunt needed improvements and stuff. So not improvements. It didn't. Let me take that back. The hunt. It's nice to have new events for the hunt because Gambler's Chest would just have the same hunt events all the time. So that's one of the aspects of the core game that doesn't really get touched upon, but apparently it did. Some way, some manner. Maybe these are for if the scout, either these are pre or post hunt. Maybe these are if the scout's walking back by themselves. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff. But it clearly says scout hunt events there. The other thing that's worth noting, let's go down. Philosophy booklets here. There are 16. If you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 booklets there. So again, we'll scroll down. This is the blah, 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 blah. Talk about all this on the live stream. Sorry, if you want to listen to all my thoughts, please watch the live stream. I know that's why I made 2 videos. You only need to watch part 2. You can skim through it to see where it is, what you want to see. But, this is Core Game 1. Here it is. Gambler's Chest expansion, right? This looks very familiar from that other thing that they posted, they reposted 2 years ago. Significant change, or not significant, but you see 30 narrative skulls, 4 promo, blah, 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 2 Scouts of Death, all this is the same. Collector's Edition Tableau, Crimson Armor, Singing Armor, Death King Armor, 5 Bone Eaters, 1 Croc, 3 Smog Singers, 1 Atnus, 1 Gambler, 1 God Hand. King is left off of there. I know that's just weird. So there are things that are weird on here, like King being left off. Luck, also not mentioned. Wanderer book count, not mentioned. But you can see 10 settlement events. That's up. Last time it was 6. Or you know what? One sec. Let me just open up the other one too. All right. So this is the old one. Now we have, as you can see, the 30 narrative skull, 4 promo sculpts, 2 promo armor. These are the same. Collector Tableau, Bone Eaters, 5 of them. Crimson Croc, 4 Smog Singers. The King was listed on there above the Death King armor. Atnus, Child Eater, Gambler, God Hand, 330 Monster Bridge cards. So 6 settlement locations. Now if we go back to the current one, it's 10 settlement. Settlement locations are not listed on here. Yeah, so no settlement locations. So we know there are going to be settlement locations. They're just not listed here. So assuming it's still 6 settlement locations, let's go back. 4 settlement events. Let's go back to this one. Now it's 10 settlement events. So it's probably just these were combined. 6 settlement locations, 4 settlement events. They probably just wrote it wrong, and now it says 10 settlement events when it's supposed to be 6 and 4 of something else. Kind of weird. 16 philosophy books. If you go back here, this has 21 philosophy books. So within those 2 years, there's been scale down. It's not scope creep, it's scale down. We're actually getting less philosophies. 9 scout reports. So 6 scout discoveries. Interesting. That's a big one. That goes down from 9 to 6. I had problem counting even what the 9 were. I took issue with the 9. So here's what I thought the 9 were. Let's go back. This is the old one. This is the 2-year one that they reposted. Just gonna say they put in the news. So I'll show you. They put in the news here. Gamers Chest thing was posted 5 days ago, and they're calling attention to this, saying that, hey, go look at what it was 3 years ago. So that's it. I'm using this image that they reposted and want everyone to be aware of. So it's not like I'm going back to some 2 years old art thing, digging it up. No, they reposted it. They're calling attention to this. So, the 21 philosophy books, we're down on that. So the 9 scout reports. Let's see what we could think the 9 were. I went 1 for Croc, Singers, Phoenix, and King. Those are the quarries. There's 4 just of the quarries, right? Then I'll go Lion, White Lion, and Antelope. That's 6. Just the quarries. I'm thinking and I'm hoping that those are the 6 that we're actually getting, right? Because with 6, at least with the Lope and the Antelope, you can actually use scouts in People of the Lantern, like you're supposed to be able to. Lope and Lion going away, it's going to be a harder sell to say that the system can be used by itself, because you're only going to get stuff that's included in Gambler's Chest. So then wouldn't you only use the Gambler's Chest stuff? That way you're getting the most out of the system. So I'm thinking those are the 6. All the quarries. So I'll go again. Croc, Lion, those are the 2, node 1. Lope, Singer, that's 4. And then Phoenix, because Phoenix is in Core and Gambler's Chest, so that's 5. 6, King. Those are all the quarries. So that would be the 6. Now, like I said, I had trouble figuring out what the 9 were. I thought the 9 was too little, but apparently it was too much. So here's what I had trouble getting to 9. So we do the quarries. Butcher would be 7. Kingsman and Atlas would be 9. Right there. Kingsman and Atlas would be 9. Then you still have Hand, Gambler, Watcher. I'm assuming you wouldn't get one from you probably wouldn't get one from Godhand and Goldsmoke Knight, but that would still put you at 12. So we're getting half of that, which is odd. Maybe it's not odd. Maybe it's just the quarries. So hopefully the 6 would be just the quarries. But I have a feeling maybe this, because we know Butcher, at least it used to get something off the mask, said that you had to kill the scout who created this report. So maybe the Butcher isn't something that we get a report from anymore. But even in that one image where they were like, oh, getting a scout report from a Butcher, right? It was mentioned. But let's assume the Butcher gets one. Let's try to think what the 6 is with the Butcher. The 6 would be Butcher, Atlas, then the 4 quarries that are in Gambler's Chest. That would be the only 6. It means you're not getting one from Gambler, you're not getting one from Hand, and you're not getting one from Godhand. Which again, and you're not getting one from Bone Eaters. So, weird. Something I didn't really talk about on the live stream. Something, because I wasn't going to sit there and do all the math and go back and forth for a long time and do all that stuff. But, doing it here for you. Next, other things I just want to talk on. Again, we're doing this quick. Oh, this is the old one. So, there's the new one. Again, 6 scout discoveries. Don't know what that means. 120. So, then he's back on track. Blah, 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 blah. Hard Plastic Showdown. This is something. Arrival Q1 of 2023. Interesting arrival date for the Hard Plastic Showdown. So, they didn't even put it in production because this is more information on the Hard Plastic Showdown during December. So if it's arrival date Q1 2023, it's not even in production yet. Maybe they're printing it themselves in-house. Hopefully, we'll see. Here's another thing that I didn't really talk about, because it's getting super hyped about the update itself. But A Tale of Two Dogs, I mentioned this. The Frog Dog and the Black Knight expansions are close to completion, We will be turning our attention to them in December to wrap them up and get them into production ASAP, ahead of Campaigns of Death. More gameplay content will be making its merry way to your doorsteps. Okay? So they want to get these before we get Campaigns of Death. So they're going to turn their attention away from Campaigns of Death to work on these. Hopefully Campaigns of Death is already, finalized, but then it says here, the Black Knight is Node 3 Nemesis, so, you have a new challenge to use instead of the hand. The Campaigns of Death will be next on the hit list, returning to full development focus following the wrap of the Frog Dog and the Blood. So, I was really hoping Campaigns of Death would be the next thing. It was always scheduled to be Wave 3, Part 3, but apparently no, we're going to get Frog Dog. I mean, everyone loves Frog Dog. I don't. I really love Campaigns of Death. I wish you would just stick to what you said, and you would just do Campaigns of Death instead of getting distracted and doing other things. I know everyone wants Frog Dog, and I know everyone wants Black Knight, and I know they're nearing completion, but so is Campaigns of Death. Just finish Campaigns of Death. But they're going to finish that first. So, Campaigns of Death looks awesome. Talked about all this stuff during the live stream. Go watch the live stream. Again, talked about all this cool stuff. They got the Bone Club on there. That's for the Dung Beetle Baron, probably specific campaign. Might replace armor. It looks like early game gear. So here's the actual Dark Herald itself. Inverted Mountain. Talked at length about all of this stuff on the live stream. Not much to really say here. Again, starting survivors have weapons. Interesting little notice there. Starting survivors are our core 4. Amazing. The fact that they have weapons is really interesting, not just founding stones. Again, Pond Scum armor. It's crafted at the Scummery, not the Skinnery. So it's probably going to be a complete Skimmery. Yeah, the Skimmery instead of the Skinnery. So very neat. Probably going to replace Rawhide. That's super awesome. I said this on the live stream. Inverted Mountain just looks so much better, so much more fleshed out than I ever possibly thought about. Here's the other thing I want to talk about. I mentioned this on the live stream. Again, we're just doing quick things that I thought were really interesting and my highlights. This floodline effect here. This is super cool. So how these settlement events work is these are settlement events. The other thing, this was pointed out to me. I didn't notice this. Aluminum Man noticed as we were talking. If you see up in the top left there, there's no banner there anymore. It's just the little emblem of the Mountain Man. So the banners are now gone. I liked the banners to use for sorting, but apparently the banners aren't going to be a thing. It's just going to be the icon up in the top corner. So anyway, this floodline. The pond shutters, causing a foundation post to dislodge. The hole it leaves leaves behind, gushes forth with a deluge of cloudy liquid, then lingering effects. Floodline. The settlement is half submerged. Align your settlement locations to this event such that the bottom of the locations sit flush with this event. Survivors cannot craft from gear from recipes found at or below the floodline. Amazing. That is absolutely amazing. So, all those it's definitely not going to be using Rawhide and stuff because you're going to need new settlement events or settlement locations because those other ones don't have floodlines. So, absolutely amazing. Such a cool concept. So, Visionaries, we talked about Visionaries, talked about Apotheosis. So, we're going to skip all this stuff. We talked about them on the live stream. I only have one more really neat thing to talk about. This is the Dungeoneering. Probably replaces leather. Again, we talked about all this stuff. Where is Trapdoorman? Those are the new encounters. Look neat. Here's the hybrid. Ram Frog Armor. Inverted Mountain expansion. So, you have to ask yourself, will this stuff be crafted from a location with a floodline? Probably. Does that mean that it's exclusive to the Inverted Mountain expansion? Hopefully not. I hope not. But these are Frog and Ram. Frog Dog and Nightmare Ram hybrid armor sets. Now, they will be included in Inverted Mountain, just like Lion Knight includes the... Yeah, so Lion Knight includes the hybrid armors, but you can use them outside of it, cheating. You're cheating if you do that because you're supposed to get it from the caravan, but strange caravan. But they're so fun to use. It'd be the same with this, something that I would recommend just using all the time, right? That'd be fun. Even if they're like restricted to the mountain campaign, I would still do it. I know it's cheating, and like I've said with Lion Knight, it's super cool that the Ramfrog horn, like the hybrid armor set, so super awesome. Same with this is a Griffquito, so this is a Griffin. Oblivion Mosquito. So cool. So, surprise! This is the final Gamers Chest expansion surprise. Despite it all, I managed to sneak in one last little surprise. We had to reopen the boxes in order to insert the Encounter Life Tracker dice, and a little bit extra happened to fall in while the boxes were open. The final Gamers Chest secret reward. This is clearly Weaponsmith. I mean, her hair is just absolutely amazing. Look at all those weaponsmiths around her, or all the weapons around her. Against our better judgment, we have added a final bonus miniature to Gamers Chest expansion during an inventory count. Thank you. Which is an odd way of phrasing this, because, again, let's go back to that other, the Wanderer system. There she is, right there. Champion Weaponsmith, or Weaponsmith, whatever you want to call her. That's her right there. It even looks clear, like her hair, you know, it's kind of, you see, it's all her. It's definitely her. But there she is. This Wanderer icon even made it into the book itself. They showed it way up at the top into the book itself. I'll show the emblem at the end. But she was always meant to be a Wanderer. They never confirmed whether or not she would actually be a Wanderer, but it says the Wanderer system does definitely appear, right? So, this is Luck, the Wanderer we are getting. Luck has his own book. They've never said, as I talked about, neither of these updates have ever said how many Wanderers are in, like if it's just one Luck, one Wanderer book. Conveniently, they've always been left off of the overviews of component overviews. And then here, a typical campaign should have no more than one Wanderer, so that would be why we never saw Weaponsmith written on the timeline for the Dreamkeeper, because you should only have one, and they've chosen Luck. But we have more Wanderers planned for the future. These two are not Weaponsmith, so it's not like they're saying that she's planned for the future. So getting the mini in the thing, but not getting her as a Wanderer would be kind of weird. So, those are the things I really wanted to highlight. Let me just quickly go back up so I can show you, as we scroll back up to the top, where the books are. You can see that made it into the final book for the Gambler's Chest, the rule book. You can see the emblem. She is still on it. She is there. Where is it? Rule book. There it is. Right there. You can see it on the rule book. For where, it shows all the philosophies and everything. You can see her right there in the rulebook, still on the Wanderer emblem. So she's still there, even in the rulebook for... So, thank you so much. Again, the main point of this was to just show everybody the backer kit's open. It's open till the end of the week. Or end of the weekend, I mean. So it's when I get this live, I'm going to push as fast as I can to get this out. Though you now know the changes for 1.6. You now know Gambler's Chest is available. You now know it's coming very soon. You know Campaigns of Death is coming. It's very good. This update was absolutely amazing. So if you wanted to get 1.6, if you're looking to get some stuff, Gambler's Chest is definitely coming. It's printing. It's coming our way. You can pre-order it. I always get asked, are you sure it will be pre-ordered? And I can never confirm. I can never say yes. I'm 100% sure it will be there for Black Friday. I always say maybe, but there it is. It was there. It's still open. Go get it if you want it. Get 1.6 if you want it. The Legendary Card Pack is also there. Get that if you want it. Get the expansions. They have changes. They're actually updated. It's worth getting them. Now the 1.6 reprints. It's great. Awesome stuff. Such a good day. So much hype for all this Gambler's Chest stuff, or for all Kingdom Death. Just in general, from Black Friday is such a good holiday. I'm so glad everybody had fun in the live stream. So thankful for joining. Thank you to all the guests who joined me. Go watch the live stream if you want to just hang out and get more hyped. Ride the hype train for Black Friday Kingdom Death. I'll see you in the next Lantern Year.